This orchard here, of course, is probably one of the best that I've seen. It's one of the great things about this area, with the Hillston area, of course, is that it's flat. For a start, a lot of other almond areas have got sandy sort of rises, so it's up and down and all that sort of thing. Here it's flat, and of course with flat you get uniformity, so we've got a beautiful uniform orchard all the way through, so it really does lend itself really well to growing this sort of crop. The trees themselves really healthy, they're quite large for their age, and we're just starting to come into our first good crops now. So 2007, we're into 2012 crop this coming year, and that'll start to see our first sort of getting close to maturity crops. From 2013 onwards, these ones will be considered as mature trees, so all of a sudden we'll start to get into the really good crops, 3.5 tonne plus, that sort of thing then. So yeah, overall the orchard's looking pretty good at this stage. With this particular property, with the irrigation water, we have two sources of water that we can utilise. One is through the bores, we can use that, and which comes from the underground aquifer, and the other one is the river water. Of course, for the last 4 or 5 years we haven't had the river available to us, but now with the rains that we've got again, we now have the river available to us. We mainly use the bores because that water is very handy and easy for us to access, but we do use the river when we have high flows or there's a lot of water required. It's all delivered through a channel system, either via pipe or channels. Comes down to the pump station, which is just over here, and then it's delivered into the orchard via the drip system that's available to us. Most of the drips are underground, which sort of helps us a little bit when it comes to keeping it away from rodents and pests and all those sorts of things. That has some downsides too, but overall it is quite nice to have it underground and it's out of the road for harvesting. The system itself is a high capacity system, delivers up to 16 millimetres per day, which is a lot of water when you think about it. 16 millimetres of rain on this particular paddock, so we can supply whatever the tree requires. We also supply all the nutrients as well that goes into that water, so we can deliver the nutrients out into the field as well. The crops here and these orchards here is just starting to come into the mature phase, of course, so that means that we're starting to get a lot of production. The almond markets themselves over the last couple of years have been generally low because there's been not so much oversupply but enough almonds around. The Australian dollar certainly has had an impact on the almond price, particularly with the growers here the last couple of years. We are seeing a change starting to happen now, and that's where the US production, even though it's been going up, it has started to stabilise now and doesn't look like going up much more at all, but the demand is still going up. So we actually, well, there's a lot of information now that the global demand for almonds will exceed supply. So this orchard just coming into maturity is coming into a very good time for that, or to take advantage of that shortfall in supply. So we can see that even with the high Australian dollar over the next few years, we could very well see prices creep up anyhow, and then if we see the dollar come back, if the mining industry has a bit of a hiccup, we may well see some very good prices come up in the very near future, 2-3 years away sort of thing. But at this stage it does look quite promising. So